Like at the beginning, like he was always on top of it, always on top of it,
always on top of it.
always consistent, and he's been having rough times, and there's evidence, like he's taking photos and stuff, and I'm like, okay, he's really going through.
And you need to decide whether you want a man or a boy. I know how I'd answer.
And the answer that I got was because they're not at the same frequency as you.
Frequency is you. Stop booing. There's nothing wrong with it. There are dozens of us. Dozens!
He was gonna pick me up from work today. All confirmed. I messaged him yesterday because I hadn't heard from him in a few days.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another short video here today. We have a few clips we're going to watch of women being treated a certain way with dating. Now obviously I have always said just don't online date. Just if you're online dating, just don't worry about it. Just delete it. But yeah, that's not what some of these women do. So let's go ahead and let's dive into this. My name is Ratboi. Let's get into it.
So I left my aunt's house because I had a date tonight, and he's been flaking on me.
Well, you should have took the hint. Like, take the hint, and you wouldn't be in this situation. Let's continue.
But at the beginning, he was really good. Like at the beginning, like he was always on top of it, always consistent, and he's been having rough times, and there's evidence, like he's taking photos and stuff, and I'm like, okay, he's really going through it right now, so I'm gonna give him a shot. Then he's kind of on the come up right now, and he texts me, gotta take my roommate to the ER. If I was talking to me, I would stop talking to. And he was like, I know you hate me or whatever. I'm just so tired of this shit. I knew driving home.
Well, you need to get used to it. I mean, this is what you wanted. This is what's going to be happening. I'm not sure what you expect. I mean, here's my opinion. Excuse me. Here's my opinion. If you are not intelligent enough to uninstall dating apps and not use them, then you should have little to no expectations on what you're going to get out of it, because this is what's going to happen. This is what happens when your expectations are through the roof. And I'm sure she had expectations. I mean, they all do. Let's continue.
Home, he's probably gonna flake. I just want it to be better, 2024.
It's not. It's not going to be better. Not for you. Not for a lot of people. Just get off the dating apps. I mean, let's be real.
No more crying on these men that don't deserve it.
I'm not gonna say anything about this because obviously he acted a certain way in the beginning to get what he wanted. I'm not sure why he'd want that from this individual, but he got what he wanted, and yeah, this is what happens. She been played. I do not feel sorry for anybody who puts themselves in this position, honestly. But you know what? She posted this on TikTok, and her comment section was through the roof with support. And but she kind of put herself in that position. These dating apps aren't dating apps; they're hookup apps, and that's how guys use them. So as soon as they get what they want out of you, they're gonna move on to the next one. Let's start this next clip.
Men don't always reject you or ghost you just because they're not interested in you. And this is why I always say dating is not black and white. I was just meditating, and I wanted to actually know, why have I not reconnected with this person yet that I'm actually genuinely into? And the answer that
I can help you out with that one. Excuse me. Because he's a Chad and he has 6 other chicks in his rotation that he's, dating. Is it called? Yeah, dating, if you want to call it that. They're probably a lot prettier than you. You're what, an adjustable 4, maybe. Put on some mascara, maybe a 5. I don't like using numbers for appearances, but you know what I mean. Let's continue.
What I got was because they're not at the same frequency as you. Like, my frequency is up here, this person's frequency is way down here. Now, my intuition or higher self would...
Here's the thing. If you hear women talk about frequencies and intuition and higher self and stuff, just run. Run away. Run the opposite direction. Well, whenever a woman says stuff like this, all they're doing is pushing accountability onto some mystical force that doesn't exist. It's complete bull. Let's continue.
Whatever you want to call it when you're meditating, said you're just a very happy person. They said we just think of you as generally a happy person. You find the good in everything, even if you're going through a shitty situation, and this person unfortunately does not, and they are going through some of their own things right now that have nothing to do with you.
But that's the thing. That what that person is doing literally has nothing to do with you at all. You're trying to inject yourself into somebody else's life who doesn't care about you. Never cared about you. Doesn't even know your name. So I'm not sure. If you ever hear a woman talk about spirituality, okay, just run. Just run. It'll always be used against you in the end. It's just another talking point for them to justify treating people a certain way, if you know what I mean.
Now, you do have to somewhat follow the spiritual community manifestation in order to understand what I'm saying. But again, this is why I always say dating is not black and white, because it's just not. The other answer that I got was, Brie, you are a very intense person. You are so confident that it can be overwhelming for some people. Now, if you're like me, you know what kind of woman you are, you know exactly what it is you want, you have boundaries, but you can also flip out on a man if he's not showing up that way, or you can just ignore them, whichever. I've done both. That can be very intense for a man that doesn't know who he is, that's not, hasn't figured out where he wants to go in life, or who he is, or
Who are you trying to date? How old are you? See, I didn't watch any of these clips, but she definitely looks over. I would say if she's not close to 30, she's probably over 30, late 20s, early 30s. Like, if you're still dating, you're doing it wrong. Like, a woman that looks like this will have no problem finding a dude. She just wants that one guy that doesn't want her because he is way out of her league.
who he wants to spend the rest of his life with. That can be really uncomfortable for some people. So again, I know that it could be so easy for your ego to say, oh, that person just was not interested in you. It's not always the reason. This is why I want you to get into meditation, so you can ask your higher self these questions like I do, instead of just chalking it up to one.
But what does that have to do with what a guy wants? If you're still going after the chads, I mean, you're not going to... That has nothing to do with meditation. I mean, yeah, sure, meditate, whatever, but I don't understand what that has to do with what these dudes want. It's just, this stuff is so... It's way out of... I'm speechless. I'm definitely speechless. This is the advice this is the advice that women are giving other women. And they wonder why it's so bad. Let's continue.
Thing.
I just need someone to help make this make sense, because maybe I'm overreacting.
Let me stop you there, Red. It ain't gonna make sense for you. It's never gonna make sense for you. Let's continue.
Or what? But I had a guy message me and say, I would love to take you on a date. And I said, you know what? I'm flattered. I'd love to. So we made plans, dinner and a movie. He was going to pick me up from work today. All confirmed. I messaged him yesterday because I hadn't heard from him in a few days.
Oh, there you go. You ain't heard from him in a few days. There you go. I mean, does anybody else think this way? Oh, I haven't heard from him in a few days. Let me see if he's still interested. I don't think that's how it works. They're Red.
I was like, hey, just confirming that we're still on for tomorrow. I'm excited. And Doesn't open it, doesn't whatever.
It's because he's moved on. He's somewhere else. And honestly, I would have moved on too. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It's hilarious. Let's continue.
Posts that he's at the beach, he's having a good time, and then 24 hours later, I get a message this morning, saying, hey, I haven't been feeling so great the past few days. Hopefully we can reschedule. So I said, all good, feel better.
Yep. That's how it goes. His loss, right? He just doesn't care. What's really funny is that
It took you 24 hours to say that?
yeah.
Am I overreacting?
I don't know what you're doing. You don't even know what you're doing. Look, these guys, they literally send messages like there's like a mass text. They'll send it to 20 different women and then they'll get them all on the line and then they'll pick the best one. This is just a method these guys do. I mean, I don't do online dating, but I mean, you can tell from the videos women make on TikTok, you can definitely tell that's what they do. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, leave a comment about this video, and I will catch you guys later. Ratboi out.